Good morning and welcome to part 2 of our Mediterranean cruise. If you've not met me before, my name's Lorna. I'm currently sailing with my fiance Ryan on Arvia with P&O, and we're going around on a 2-week Mediterranean cruise. If you haven't already seen last week's vlog, make sure you do check that one out. We boarded at Southampton and we visited 2 ports. We visited La Coruña and Valencia, as well as having several days at sea and showing you around Arvia and what it's like. Over the next week, so over the next vlog, we're going to be going to 4 ports of call. We're going to be going to Marseille, which is first stop today. We've also got Barcelona, Cadiz and Alicante. So we cannot wait to take you along with us on those. So yeah, next stop, as I said, is Marseille. So what are we waiting for? Let's go. Well, we have arrived in Marseille. We had to get a shuttle bus from the ship. It was about well, they said half an hour. It wasn't half an hour on that bus, was it? 20 minutes? 20 minutes on the bus. Because we were select fare, we don't have to pay for it, but if you were not select fare on the ship, it's £2.50 each way, but they'll only charge you for 2 journeys, so if you wanted to go back and forth, the extra ones would then be free. But yeah, we have arrived in Marseille. We're not quite sure what we're going to do yet. We've walked down to the quay. There's some really beautiful buildings up ahead, and we believe there's like an old town in this kind of direction somewhere. It is a Sunday, so things are going to be pretty closed for a couple of hours, but our hope is that we'll be able to find a cafe or something, have a drink, have a coffee or something. Yep. But the weather is beautiful. It's not too hot today, the breeze is out, it's lovely. Yet. Not too hot. Yet.
Still only 10 o'clock in the morning, it's got time.
We've got our sun cream on, it'll be fine. So we've made our way to the port. It probably only took about a 20-minute walk or so, but we basically walked from this direction. We walked through some really lovely streets. We were desperate for the toilet, so we were trying everywhere we could. No public toilets, so we managed to find a little boulangerie. Had a croissant, which was absolutely delicious, and most importantly, was then able to use the loo. And then we just walked around the port, which is really lovely, very busy. You can tell the cruise ships are in. And we're going to now try and climb up here. Like we've been walking for ages, but actually we started literally here. We walked along here and had a little look at the port, and then anyway we walked, it feels like we've walked much farther than we have. So we walked up here and then we walked along kind of inward inland, and then we walked down to the port and then around and then up, and now we're here. So we've made the somewhat foolish decision. We were just wandering around, we're like, oh, we're quite close to the Notre Dame de la Garde. We thought, oh, why not, we'll just, it's 20 minutes away, let's go. Well, this is now what we have to combat. I don't know if it's coming out on screen as steep as it is.
It's about a 45-degree angle the whole way up.
But it's about a 45-degree angle.
So we wanted to exercise today.
We did.
For a day at sea, we stretch our legs, and this is going to be it. Right, let's march on.
Still not there. Almost. We made it! Knackered. One of the other things you could do in Marseille was go out to a fort on its own little island. We were saying it's a bit like Alcatraz in San Francisco, but you can just about see it. But there is a boat that takes you from the quay and you can go visit that. We'd have liked to have done it, but ultimately we've only got today, so maybe another time. And this is the view from the other side. It's got this gorgeous mountainous range, and then the Notre Dame de la Garde. Look at that view.
Makes all the steps worth it.
Absolutely. So we did pop in. It didn't actually cost a thing to go inside, but I'm going to be honest, it was kind of mayhem, and we both didn't feel right being there because there were signs up saying this is a place of prayer, place of worship, blah blah blah, and there were people being really loud shouting all of this. There were places where it was clear you weren't allowed to go in and take photos, yet people were, and we didn't. So we just came out and we thought we'd just come and admire the view. Final little view of Marseille from up the top, and just in the distance you can see our cruise ship. All that climbing, but what do we want? An ice cream. So we've just gone on to TripAdvisor, and the place that's coming up as #1 spot is this La Metropole Glacier Bio Ice Cream, but it also says healthy on it. And we're questioning what a healthy ice cream entails.
I don't know.
But it's 5 stars, so
it was the top one.
I think we've got to give it a go. Let's give it a go. Okay, after a slight evaluation, it looks like it is all dairy-free ice cream, and I'm sure it's delicious, but it's not what we're after. So we're going to go back to the port, not the port, the quay.
Yeah.
We're going to go back to the quay because there was loads of ice cream shops there. So
take your pick from there.
Ice creams have been purchased. They were £3.50 each. It would have been €5 if you wanted 2 scoops. I went Kinder Bueno and it is delicious.
And I've gone cookie, and it's an absolute sugar overload. But it's exactly what I wanted.
Accomplished right now. We climbed all the way up there. What do you think? Is it nice?
Very refreshing.
Well, we have had a thoroughly lovely day in Marseille, and it's now time to head back to the shuttle. It was a bit early. We got a lot done very, very quickly, and I think partly because we didn't go for anywhere to eat today because we just weren't hungry. It got to about 2:30 and we were like, oh, we've kind of done everything we want to do here, but we found a bar which I've just shown you. Yeah, and it was so good. I loved the theming, it was so tropical. And if you are here with P&O or any other cruise ship, it is literally a 30-second walk to where your shuttle will take you. So hopefully this is our shuttle. One of these will be. So we're gonna go and work out now how we get back to the cruise ship. I'm gonna be honest, that was incredibly easy. So we just have to show our cruise card and then we'll be allowed on. That is us sailed away from Marseille. It is quite windy today, but it's quite nice because it means that there is a breeze. So we are going to be going off to Glasshouse tonight. We have been to Glasshouse already this trip. Our plan is to have tapas tonight because again, we're just not hungry. I think after a week of having the best food ever, and make sure you check out our previous vlog if you haven't seen it already to see what we did eat. We're just not that hungry today. Let's go get some tapas. Something that's really cool about this menu is that everything is paired with wine. So it is made between these two chefs. It's made between Ollie Smith and Jose Pizarro. Jose Pizarro's done the food and Ollie Smith's done the wine. And they pair up with everything you go for. So we're going to do tapas tonight. I'm going to get 6, which will mean it is £8.25 times 6. such a wonderful evening. Glass house was exactly what we wanted it to be. It was absolutely delicious, and we ended it with cheese and crackers and watching the sunset, which was wonderful. Tomorrow's Barcelona. We were there in October actually, so this is going to be a slightly different experience for us in that it's somewhere we've been before. So our plan is to go to the market because they have some really nice little like restaurants that you can sit at in the market, but they're quite hard to get a seat at. So we're going to go a bit earlier than we did in October and hopefully get a seat there. Is there anywhere else we want to go? We're going to look at the port guide, and I'll talk to you tomorrow about where you can see the port guide and download it ahead of your trip if you're going with P&O. But the port guide, I will say, we've used it quite a lot and it has never ever ever done the dirty on us. It's always shown us amazing places to eat at. So we're going to give the port guide a go, see what they've recommended for Barcelona. Yeah. Is there anything else we want to do tomorrow? Maybe the Opera House. We didn't do that in October.
There's another Gaudi house that we need to have a look at as
yeah.
well. Because we did the Cassa in October, but there was another Gaudi house that
yeah.
lesser known, but apparently is also equally as awesome to walk around in, so yeah. Who knows?
So we will see where tomorrow takes us, but either way we'll be in Barcelona tomorrow, so we will see you then. Well, good morning. Today we are in Barcelona. I've gone for a slightly different bag today. There is an issue with pickpocketing in Barcelona. People make a very, very big deal about it. We'd say just have your wits about you. It's not, we didn't feel it was bad, what was it, in October? No. But equally, I'm not going to go and wear my rucksack today. So any kind of crossbody bag, something that's just, you know, easily on your body that you can keep hold of. I've taken things like my necklace off as well, which might sound a bit extreme, but when we were staying in the hotel back in October, I was advised to take that off. Things like my ring, I'm going to keep on, but like no jewellery, stuff like that can be just grabbed. So just essentially, if you're ever thinking going to Barcelona, don't be fearful of it, but just have your wits about you. I think the plan for today is to go to the market, see what's going on there, and then just have a mooch around really. It's such a beautiful city. We were very lucky, as I said, we've been inside a lot of the buildings, so just be nice to revisit. But I will be leaving this behind, just take out as little as you can really. And I think they're now doing some exercises, so time to go. €28. It was about, on the conversion, about £24 each to get in. It was absolutely huge. But essentially, it was a private home and the last one that Gaudi designed before he died. And he died how?
Oh, I don't know.
In a tram accident. What do you think?
I think it's got, like, I'll be totally honest, it wasn't as enthralling as the Cassa.
Yeah.
But all of the buildings that Gaudi's done are just incredible.
They're so cool.
There's nothing like it.
Yeah, this as with all his buildings, this building's been very inspired by nature. So he wanted the outside to look like water, and then the kind of statues around are all meant to look like soldiers guarding the building. Yeah, it's so cool. He was so ahead of his time in architecture, and things like the attic. It looks a bit like a whale's like belly, but it wasn't so much for that. It was more so that it could support an open space, and he had like a double roof, so it was like a parasol to create shade for the building and make it cooler. And
so clever.
Yeah. honestly, I was saying to Ryan, what a great day, but then every day is a great day, and isn't that just the best thing about being on holiday? It was amazing to revisit Barcelona. If you haven't been, it is an incredible city. You could easily spend a week there just doing everything. We've now spent, I think we did 5 days in October, and we've obviously done a day today, and there's still so much we haven't done. It was so lovely to be able to explore another of Gaudi's buildings that we didn't see before. I think if we're being honest, if you were trying to choose between the buildings and which one to go for, Cassa, which we did not do today. We did pop in, actually, we popped into the gift shop because there was something specific in there that we wanted to get our parents that we'd got ourselves back in October. But if you had to choose between all of Gaudi's like home buildings and which ones you were going to go to, then Cassa would be the one I'd recommend, and I would recommend that you get the gold package because it doesn't actually cost that much more. You skip the queue to get in, and you see there's extra parts that you're allowed to go around, and you get a better virtual tour than you do if you get the general package. You get like an iPad which you can hold up and it shows you what the room would have looked like furnished and all of this. So that would be my recommendation. But we were both saying it was so nice actually to go to this, it was Casa Milla was also what it's called, it had a couple of names, but so lovely to do that with a gap, having not been to Barcelona for about 9 months and not seen Gaudi's buildings for a while. Really lovely to really appreciate it again, and just how he gets inspired by nature and everything. Amazing. And then we went to the market. It felt much busier than when we last went there as well. I don't know if just because there's 3 cruise ships in today, maybe that. But yeah, we tried some of the food. We had a chorizo and cheese burrito thing. It was delicious. I had some strawberries with chocolate on them. They were quite expensive for what they were. They were €5, and Ryan had an empanada, cheese and spinach empanada, and that was like $3.50, which really good value. And then we wrapped it up. We discovered on our previous trip a little square just off of La Ramblas, and we just sat there and chilled out for about half an hour and then headed back to the ship. We chose to walk to and from the ship. It was probably from La Ramblas, we're quite fast walkers, and it was probably about a half-hour walk. You could have got the bus. The bus drops you off quite near the seafront, so it'd still be a 10-minute, 15-minute walk to La Ramblas, probably 10-minute walk from where the bus drops you off, but it does save you a bit of a longer walk. To put it in perspective, we've done a lot of walking today. We've walked 21 kilometers, which I'm still quite in shock about. My legs are not, they know they've done it. That on top of 16 kilometers in Marseille yesterday. Knackered. But it's going to make us all more ready for dinner tonight. We're going to go to Olive Grove. There is now we're on week 2, there is another menu, so we're going to go give that a go. If you want to see what was on the week 1 menu, make sure you check out last week's vlog. But yeah, we're going to try that out tonight, and I think we're going to just play some games on the balcony now, maybe some dino dump, maybe. Can't play Japer because we don't have a big enough table, but play some card games, watch the sail away. I'm really hoping the ship will turn around and we'll get to see Barcelona from our balcony. That would be really cool. But currently, this is our view. The balcony is actually really grubby at the moment because we had such bad weather last night. I've never been on a ship that was, certainly a ship this size, that got so rocky last night. It was so windy, no one was out, and the banister bit's all salty now, and this is kind of covered, but you know, doesn't matter. So yeah, we are off to Alicante tomorrow, sail away all aboard at 5:30, and the time is 5:31, so I'm sure the captain will be making an announcement any minute now saying everyone's on board, and we'll be sailing away probably about half an hour.
I do hope that you had another great day. I have to say the weather forecast didn't work out at all as originally forecast, certainly more cloudy and even a light rain shower on the ship as well, none of which was forecast in advance. So at least the sun did come out in the later afternoon. So whatever you did on a shore excursion, exploring independently, or just staying on board, I hope you enjoyed your day.
to tonight. So you might be thinking, Lorna, you're quite overdressed for going to see Olive Grove. That is one really nice thing about cruises, actually, is that you can just wear whatever you want and you never feel too dressed up. So I am in like sparkly attire and had a great time tonight. We were going to see Greatest Days at the Headliners Theatre as well, so I wanted to dress up a little bit. So I'll start with Olive Grove. It was okay, and I think it's going to be the last time that we go there. We had such an exceptional evening there on our first night. The service was just incredible. The food was really good, but I'm going to be honest, we've been a little spoiled where we have been using our onboard spending to go for the restaurants that cost a little extra, and it really is just a little extra. It probably for two of us is tops £25. That would be more if we didn't have the drinks package, obviously. So I can appreciate, on top of everything else, it's quite a bit of money, but we've got this onboard spend, so we're using it. And in comparison to the restaurants that cost a little extra, the food just isn't as good. It's nice, don't get me wrong, but it's mediocre at best, except for, I will say, my pudding. Honourable mention has to be given to my pudding. So to start, Ryan had espinadas and I had fish cakes. I'm going to be honest, the fish cakes were just a bit chewy and just generally a bit bland, and Ryan said the same for his starter, that it was a bit bland. Ryan had a fish main, which was mostly fried. I was very surprised not to see any greens on there, and again, he generally thought it was quite bland. My main was a beef kofta kebab, which actually, I'm going to be honest, was not overly dissimilar to the lamb flatbread that was on the menu A in the first week, and it was good. It was good. The meatballs were really nice, and it was great. It wasn't mind-blowing, but it was good. But the pudding, oh my goodness. The lemon tart, which Ryan had, wasn't so much of a fan of, but the chocolate, it was an almond based cake. It was just divine. It was absolutely exquisite. It was slightly warm. I would say it is the second best pudding, only just falling short behind the pudding I had in Epicurean. It is the second best pudding I've had in the entire holiday. It was amazing. Now, if you're thinking, Lorna, you're sounding quite snotty, you're sounding quite gunged up, and that's just because I've been crying in Greatest Days. It was so good. So if you don't know, it is in fact, a film has just come out of Greatest Days. It is based on around the music of Take That. It is about a group of teenage girls who love The Boys, who are a band. It's not Take That, but they sing Take That songs, and it's just about their friendship, essentially. Now, I'm going to keep this spoiler free in case you haven't seen the film or you're intending to see the musical on board P&O. But it was just, I actually got emotional just with the friendships of the girls, particularly at the start when they're all 16, and just the bond that you have with those people. And it's just it's so hard to give this completely spoiler free, so I'm being really careful with what I say, but it just made me so appreciate some of the girl friendships that I have in my life. And you know, I'm getting married next year, and knowing that some of those girls are going to be my bridesmaids and stuff like that, and just sharing those special moments together and all of this, it just, I found it quite emotional. I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. I thought it was brilliant. It was really good, and the headliners, the acting was really good, the dancing was phenomenal, and actually the singing was really good as well. So, you know, hats off to the headliners on Arvia, because you were pretty good, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and even Ryan enjoyed it. He's just got back from the water run. You may have noticed in a previous vlog that we have a little water shelf up here, and this is where we store all our empty bottles, and then Ryan very kindly runs and gets us water so we don't get thirsty in the evenings. So anyway, it's really late, it's like midnight now, and I need to go to sleep, or we need to go to sleep. So we definitely do. Tomorrow is Alicante. It is another port day. We're not arriving until 9 AM now. We are slightly delayed. Oh, you have got a hole in it. we are not getting there till 9 AM, which is about an hour later than planned. I think it's because we didn't get to leave Barcelona until about an hour later than planned today, but that's fine actually. Quite frankly, we love a lion, so 9 AM is fine by us. We have no plans, but we do enjoy a mooch and we do enjoy to explore, so that is the plan for tomorrow with Alicante. So anyway, we will see you in the morning when we're docking in Alicante. Good morning and welcome to
Ding Dong.
Good morning everyone. This is an update regarding the shuttle bus operation today.
Wait.
We are...
So in short, the quay's really busy and they're saying if you're not in a rush to get ashore, could you just wait until we tell you to go out? So it looks like we're waiting. But yeah, welcome to Alicante. I've never been here before, have you?
I don't believe so, no. I've been to Spain quite a few times, but I can't remember exactly where I've been.
No, I was meant to be here in 2020, but obviously didn't happen. But yeah, it's Tuesday today and we've had a little look and it looks like quite a few of the bars and cafes are closed today, but that's fine, we'll make it work. We are planning to walk out. There's this really pretty like walkway, black and white mosaic-y walkway along the seafront, so we're thinking of doing that, and then we're thinking of walking up to that castle up there. Oh, so it's actually quite a nice walk, to be honest. It's just walking along the quay, all very flat. It's about a kilometre. We've hit over a kilometre now, haven't we?
Yeah, I think so. Strava till sort of halfway.
Yeah, but it is hot. We are both very sweaty already. So if you're maybe somebody that struggles in the heat and it is a hot day, maybe the shuttle bus is for you. But we do quite enjoy the walk in, stretch the old legs. We've got a sea day tomorrow, so we can relax then. But I am really hungry now, so I'm hoping we can find somewhere to eat. And I'm getting very nervous about climbing this.
It's so hard.
It looks so high up.
I think Google might have lied to me saying it was 38 minutes.
Well, our plans to see the pretty pavement are well and truly scuppered. Okay, we found it. It was only part of it that was being dug up. Very, very pretty. We're now trying to find somewhere for brunch. Lunch, breakfast, who knows, something food-wise. Ryan thought he found somewhere, but it's 6k away. That is not happening today. People are going to judge me, but I'm on holiday. So I'm having churros for breakfast. They were how much? For €3 something. Yeah, not too bad. And I love this. Cup of chocolate. And Ryan has gone for a breakfast, which comes with chips, black pudding, chorizo and eggs. Gonna be honest, really struggling a little bit today. I think it's 85% humidity. That combined with, as we said, the amount we've walked over the last couple of days, plus it's super hot. We're just feeling absolutely zapped of energy. So we tried doing the whole like wandering around, but it's too much today to just wander without a purpose. We went to the old market, which was good, but having just been to the one in Barcelona yesterday,
We were quite spoiled yesterday, weren't we?
Yeah.
That market in Barcelona is fantastic.
Yeah. And we were saying, with the heat, this is a day for just chilling out. You need to be by some water to cool down. But I'm gonna be honest, I don't want to like show you the beach too much because obviously there's people in swimwear and stuff, but I'm sorry,
You think you find a square foot of space in there?
For me.
Good luck to you.
Yeah, so we're actually heading back to the ship, and it is incredibly early for us. Is it like 12? 1 o'clock?
No, I think it's more like 1:15. 20 past 1.
20 past 1, and we never head back to the ship this early. Whether we stay on the ship or not, I don't know. We've both said Alicante, it's alright. Don't think it's one we'll personally be visiting again. But actually, if I could just jump in the water here, and that's away from people, that'd be quite nice. So we'll see, we'll play it by ear, but it's too hot to just be wandering today. So the castle, as much as we wanted to challenge ourselves, that is a big hard no today. So yeah, we'll head back to the ship, put on our swim stuff and see where the day takes us.
This time, can I order some food to our room, please? Could I please order a pepperoni pizza, a Tex-Mex combo, and some cookies as well, please. That's it, thank you. 45 minutes, okay. Thank you very much.
Well, we ended up coming back to the ship and having an incredibly lazy afternoon. We spent most of the afternoon in the pool, just staying cool because it was just too hot to even sit out in the sun. We tried sitting out on the balcony at one point and it was just way too much. So we spent most of it in the water. And then it was sail away and we decided, you know what, we fancy a bit of room service tonight. So we did. We ordered a pepperoni pizza, we ordered a Tex-Mex kind of box, sharer box, and some cookies. So that came to the grand total of the pizza was $5.95, the sharer Tex-Mex box was $7.95, and the cookies were $1.75 times 2 because we ended up getting 4. We didn't know there was going to be 4. You know, we thought there was going to be 2, there ended up being 4, so it was $2.50 for the cookies. I would say it was delicious and I really enjoyed it. It was just really nice to be chilled out on the balcony having our food. I would say the pizza is the same, if you are wondering. The pizza is the same kind of pizza as you get at the Sky Dome bar, but it is hot and it is perfectly cooked. It's not overdone at all, but the base is the same base that you get in there. So yes, you are paying a little bit more, but it was brought to your room, you're chilled out, it's really lovely. And the cookies I thought were maybe slightly overrated. They were just basic sugar cookies, which I'm not personally a huge fan of, but the sharer Tex-Mex box was amazing, absolutely delicious. So we're just going to go down now to the atrium and we're going to take some games down with us and we're going to have a nice evening just enjoying being in the middle of the ship and having a good evening basically. Good morning, it is another beautiful day on Arvia. We have a day at sea today as we're heading over to our final port, which is Cadiz. I don't actually know how it's pronounced, as we sail anyway to our final port tomorrow, and then we've got 2 days at sea. So we're just going to be taking it easy today. We always start the day around 9 thinking about what it is we want to do, what our kind of like bucket list thing of the day is going to be, and we're very simple today. Ryan just wants a burger and I just want an ice cream, and then we have got dinner tonight at the beach house, which we haven't been to yet on this trip, and we're both very much looking forward to having steaks there. We've heard very good things, and especially after thinking we'd have a steak at the Glass House, we've both been craving one so badly. So yeah, just out on the balcony. It's actually just gone into the shade, but it's been lovely and sunny here, so I've been making the most of having a balcony, a bit of space to ourselves, and it's just going to be a chilled one today. So I don't know how much I'll show you, but so if the next thing you see is us going to beach house, it's because all we've done is sunbathe. I finished my book this morning, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. If you are into reading, I couldn't recommend it enough. It's been one of my favourite books this year, and I've just started another charity Norman book called Sea in September, which looks like it's going to be a really good book. So lots of reading today, lots of tea, hydration, and beach house later. You might have heard us talk about refilling our water bottles. They have these stations all over the ship, but there's 2 here in the Sky Dome. There's one by Keel and Cow and there's one by Glass House. But yeah, we just come refill our bottles. How many bottles have been saved today or on this cruise so far, darling?
156,284.
Oh, saving the planet 1 bottle at a time. So with regard to sunbeds, it is still very busy, and I will say if you're a solo traveller, really easy to find a spot, but in terms of finding 2 or more sunbeds together, it can be quite tricky. But we have found a spot that we love. There's a cluster of tables, just see behind me, a cluster of tables, and this is just outside the Sky Dome, so it's really nice because you don't have the volume of noise that you have in there, which is mostly where the children hang out, but you've got the music just coming in, which is really nice. It's got the stairs just here, so you're still away from people and it's a bit breezy, and it's just really nice. You get the shade, you get the sun, which works for us perfectly because I'm more of a sun worshipper than Ryan is. But Ryan's just popped to the buffet because that has now opened, and I thought I would try the mocktail raspberry bakewell. I've heard really good things about this, and I've got to say it's absolutely delicious. It's not too almondy, like I'm not a huge bakewell fan, but it's so sweet and delicious, and it's it's just yummy. So I think that was £3.85. So I would thoroughly recommend, if you are thinking of trying that out on your next trip, make sure you do. Oh my goodness, I think that is the most fun we have had. It was so brilliant. Dinner at the beach house was just the best meal of the holiday. We so nearly didn't even book it because our experience on the Azura really was not that great, and we were like, let's just book it, see if it's different, because so many people speak well of the beach house. Maybe we just had a bad experience. But we did just have a bad experience, because that was exceptional. The service was second to none. It was the best we've had whole holiday. They were so wonderful, courteous. Nothing was too much, trying to like make sure that we had everything we needed. The food was just incredible. So for starter, I had sweet potato skins with mozzarella cheese, I think, and then we both had sticky wings and mac and cheese like fries, and then Ryan also had a pork belly starter. Then we both had the steak, which was just divine. And then for pudding, Ryan had the chocolate mousse, which I wish I'd gone for because it was just sublime, and I had the apple pie, which was delicious. So not only did we have the best dinner of the trip, it was then followed by the silent disco in the Sky Dome, which was just so good. It was brilliant. We absolutely loved it. That, you know, so you were given a headset, and we did have to queue to get in, but we had a couple of friends there as well, which made it even more fun. And there were 2 channels you could listen to, so you could skip in and out the songs, and it was so good. There was ABBA, there was Sweet Caroline, there was Bohemian Rhapsody, there was the Grease Mega Mix. I mean, I'm going to be honest, there were some that I just couldn't choose between the 2 songs. It was just so good. So we've really ended today on such a high. It was so much fun, and it is now about midnight, so time for bed, because we've got Cadiz again, still don't know how to say it, Cadiz in the morning, and we believe it's one that we can just walk straight in. There's no like long walk into port or anything like that. So we're just going to have a little self tour tomorrow, and see what we can find. But it is time for bed now, so we will see you in the morning. Good morning and welcome to Cadiz, who knows, I still don't know how to say it. We have mapped out a little route for ourselves this morning. I think it's about an hour's walk round trip, but we're going to go visit the cathedral that's here. We're going to go to like the town where there's shops and like an old towny bit where they have all the restaurants and stuff like that, and there's a park, and we've managed to do it as this lovely little loop from the ship and ending at the ship as well. So very much looking forward to today. It is substantially cooler. It's quite breezy. I think I'm going to be okay in what I'm wearing. I've got a little white dress on today. We've unintentionally both gone white today, so we look like a coordinated couple. But yeah, it's quite breezy. It's about, I think, 22, which is still so warm, but where we've just been used to like 30+ degrees, it does feel a bit cooler today. But I'm going to be honest, it's actually quite nice, and it means we can go exploring, which, as you guys now know, we love doing. There is an odd smell here, kind of like spices. I don't know how else to describe it. It's not unpleasant, but there is an odd smell, so I'm intrigued to find out where all these smells are coming from. But it looks like a lovely city, so let's go exploring. favourite port was, etc, etc, and we both kind of agreed Barcelona, but for me this has now well and truly taken over. I love Cadiz. It's beautiful for one, as you have seen. It's not that big, so you can't really get lost in it, and you can just wander around. All the streets are absolutely stunning. The parks and gardens, gorgeous. And then we use the port guide. Now you can access the port guide just through your My P&O login area online. We download all of these before we come and we print them off, so we've got access, and they always give recommendations for like coffee spots, lunch spots, bars, etc. And we tried going to a few. We had really good success in February, and so we know that honestly the recommendations are so good. You can't always get in because the recommendations are so good. What was the name of the one we just went to?
Candela, I think.
I think that's the best food we've had all
You'll
holiday.
put it up on screen and
yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was La Candela.
Oh my goodness. We had tapas, we had a bit of everything. We had an aubergine salad, we had croquettes, we had these like prawn pancakes with cod, we had a pork knuckle, which I was a bit nervous about, but it was delicious. We had something else as well. And we've just found a supermarket, so we're probably going to pop in there, but in short, it was absolutely divine. Divine, wonderful. And it only came to 50 euros. So really, really quite cheap, in short. But yeah, Cadiz has just been amazing. Loved it. Beautiful.
Absolutely.
Nothing more to say.
Food was even better.
No notes. Oh my goodness. I am just so content is the only word I can really use. Today has just been amazing. I really didn't think I was going to enjoy Cadiz as much as I did, but we've spent the whole day, we've walked about 12 kilometers just exploring the whole city, and I've seen some of the most beautiful things today that I have on the entire trip. Seeing that beautiful garden with the waterfall and the caves that we can explore, looking out to sea along the coastline. They had this beautiful wall that you could look out along, and then just all the streets. It was just so beautiful and wonderful and calm, and just a really relaxing day. And I would say there's a really strong sense of community here as well. We saw a woman trip over, and the number of people that ran over to help her immediately, and like there was one point just as I was walking out the restaurant, and it was literally immediately onto one of these little street roads, and I literally just took a step out of the restaurant and a guy literally put his hand out and made me stop because there was a car coming along. And I just think you don't always get that when you're traveling around, and it just really felt like everyone was looking out for each other, and it was just, I really just didn't think I was going to enjoy Cadiz as much as I did today. So it's a bit bittersweet because it's been an amazing day, but what better way to end our ports? And that's the bitter part about it, is just as we were getting on Arvia now, I said to Ryan, I was like, oh, it's our last time boarding her. It's just been the best 2 weeks. I've absolutely loved it, and obviously the holiday's not over. We've still got tonight and 2 more days to go. We've got the formal night, and we've got Sindhu booked, and we're going to try and get back into Beach House. We've got digital tonight, which is in the Headliners Theatre. So there's still so much to do, but I think just with the ports now being over, it's a bit like, oh, we're getting to the end, which is really sad. But it's just, as I said, I'm just so grateful. It's just, it feels like we've been away a lifetime, and it's just been amazing. So yeah, we're absolutely knackered now. So Ryan's just making us a cup of tea. We're just going to sit out on the balcony, recharge the batteries for the next half hour, and then hope to catch the sail away party. It's Pulse in the Sky Dome. We've not done a sail away party on this holiday yet, so it's about time we did. It's the last time we can do one. So yeah, we're going to do that, and this is my view. And just looking out on Cadiz. I will say this doesn't reflect where we've been exploring, but it's a lovely view all the same. We ended up being a really chilled evening. Our shower broke, so we had to call maintenance, and someone has very kindly come and sorted it. Essentially just the water stopped like going through the head of the shower. The head of the shower fell off firstly, and then we asked them to fix it, and then they fixed it too well, and then it just didn't work. But also because we were so full from lunch, and that combined with the shower, we were just like, let's just take it easy. And then we just headed to the Headliners Theatre when it was 8:30. And what did you think of digital?
I thought digital was fantastic. I don't want to compare it to the Greater Days because that wouldn't be fair, but
two very different shows,
equally both amazing. Just enjoyed every minute of both of them.
I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I didn't know what we were going to go into, but it was just so clever. The choreography, the technology that they used in it. In short, it's basically about someone just getting, she's called Eliza, a digital personal assistant, and she just takes him through lots of things, and you learn about technology as well, like how it's developed, emails, gaming, music, all of this. I loved the old school gaming section. I thought that was really cool. They clearly didn't have the rights for Mario. But they made it like and it had people like jumping for stars. It was just all with the use of screens. It was very well timed. I loved that bit as well when the guy was rebooting Eliza.
Yes.
And they had just a solo dancer on the stage, but interacting with the screen behind him. Very clever. And then on our way out, in the atrium, there was an aerialist performance going on.
Stroke of luck, we just managed to walk out at the time that they were setting up and getting ready to go.
Yeah, singers were amazing, aerialists were amazing. We did both say we were a bit nervous watching the aerialists. It's something we absolutely could never do, not even for a second. But we were up on the first floor and you got a great view of it. It was amazing. It was so good. But yeah, we're going to turn in now, and a sea day tomorrow. In fact, 2 sea days coming up now. We've got formal night tomorrow and dinner at Sindhu, and we will see where we go from there. So anyway, until tomorrow. Good morning. It's a very blustery one today. We've got winds at about 30 miles an hour, and the temperature has dropped significantly. It's about 19 degrees. So the jeans are now out. That hasn't happened for about 2 weeks, so it feels very odd wearing them. And I don't know what we're going to do today. It's not morning at all. It's gone 12 o'clock. We've just had a really lazy one. We took breakfast. Ryan went up to Horizon, got some pastries and stuff. We ate that in the room. I've been reading my book, so I think it's going to be really chilled. I think there's a quiz and Brody's at 3 that we're going to try and catch, but otherwise I think we're going to be more making use of stuff inside the ship today, because I'm out here in my t-shirt, but it is on the cold side. You couldn't just sit out here. So I think we might head to the atrium, see what's going on there, maybe have a cup of tea or something. But yeah, and then we've got formal night tonight. So it's just gonna be an easy one ahead of formal night and then dinner at Sindhu. And just like that, it's formal night. Am I wearing the same dress as I was last week? Yes, I am. Do I care? No. I want to get as many wears out of this dress as I can. It's actually ended up being a really nice day. Quite a lot of the ship was closed today because of the blasts of wind. It's been pretty windy, as I said this morning. But we've made the most of it. We sat in the atrium in the kind of coffee shop for a little while. Look at my handsome man. Sat in the coffee shop for a while. We did the crossword. Well, no, we failed at the crossword.
We tried the crossword.
We tried the crossword and we failed at it. And then actually, because the winds are coming from the front of the ship, we ventured to the back, and it was still breezy, but it was warm enough to sit out, even put some shorts on. So we just sat there, didn't we? And
yep,
read my book, and you listened to your podcasts, and
sure did.
We're all set ready to go, and we're at Sindhu tonight, so we will show you what we enjoy there, and that will basically be our evening.
Yep.
You're looking forward to Sindhu?
Oh yes.
You love Sindhu.
I've very much been looking forward to it since last time. I've seen the menus
totally cut you off.
quite different this time round, which I'm really looking forward to.
It is quite different, isn't it?
Mm.
I think you're going to go for the lobster thermidor.
I think you're a mind reader.
Sindhu style lobster thermidor.
Got to see what it's about.
I mean, I'm not getting married to you for nothing. It's a good job I know, have a feeling what your menu's going to be. But we're going to try and get some photos. It took quite a long time last week to get some photos. We were in the queue for about 40 minutes, and then we had to go to our reservations. We never got photos, hence why we're wearing the same outfits, because that's what we want our photos in.
Yes.
So we're going to try again tonight. What an amazing formal night it has been. We've really enjoyed it. We started the evening off by getting some formal pictures taken. Don't know whether we're going to purchase any or not, but if I have, I will leave them here. But there were several locations this time, so it was a lot easier to do. There was in the atrium, but there was also by the cinema. And I will say the queues were so much shorter. Like I said, on the first formal night we were queuing for about 40 minutes, and the same family were having their photo taken, and we didn't move forward at all in the queue. Whereas on the second formal night, I think everyone tries to get the photo on the first night. So if you're waiting, if you want to get a formal picture done, I would say wait until your second formal night. And even if you're only on a 1 week cruise, I can't speak for every cruise, but when we did the Canaries cruise back in February, there was still 2 formal nights, and again we got our photos taken on the second night, and it was much easier. Sindhu was absolutely delicious. It was more of a fusion Indian restaurant rather than more of a traditional. We had Sindhu on Azura back in February, and it was like, ooh. It was very much an Indian curry restaurant. This was, don't get me wrong, delicious, but it was like things like your curry was served with noodles, and like Ryan had something that wasn't really a curry, full stop. But as I said, it's not taking away from the fact that it was delicious. It just isn't, if you're looking for a curry, it's not necessarily the place that you would go to. But yeah, it's been really fun. And then we were hanging out in Brody's, listening to the karaoke, and it was just a lot of fun. But now it is late. It is our final night where we're going to wake up and not have to leave. So final day tomorrow. I can't believe we've got to this point in the holiday, but we have. But all good things must come to an end, as they say. So a good night's sleep, and then enjoy our final day tomorrow. Good afternoon. It is the final full day. It is another very blustery day. If you just have a look outside, I won't open the door because it makes the whole room whistle, and it's quite hard to shut the door at the moment. I think it's even choppier than it was yesterday. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't suffer with motion sickness at all, but even I'm finding a little bit today, like but we're going through the Bay of Biscay, so I'm just thinking we were so lucky that it was such a smooth run through on our way out, but it's choppy today. We've just taken it easy. We watched Bohemian Rhapsody this morning. We just were like flicking through the channels and it had just started. So we're like, oh, let's pop this on. And then we went down to the Quays for lunch, had the fish and chips from Hook, Line and Vinegar. Like the best fish and chips I've had.
Almost sounds blasphemous to say that when you're from the south coast, but best fish and chips I've had in a long time.
It was incredible. It was the batter on that fish was just sublime. And then actually you went and tried a little bit of everything, didn't you?
Sure did.
Tried the wrap.
Waited until the last day, but
out of 10, do you like the wrap?
Today's one was better than the one that I had before.
Yeah.
The beef one was better than the turkey. The beef one was lovely. Beef was probably an 8 out of 10.
And you
delicious.
liked the curry as well, didn't you?
Prawn curry, yes I did, yeah.
But your favourite was the fish and chips?
Oh, by far, yeah.
Yeah.
Even the curry sauce was really good as well.
Yeah. So we're going to go down now. We've packed our bingo cards for today. It's the final day, so got to play bingo. We've got our dabbers from the start of the holiday. And we're just going to go down, play some games.
Have some fun.
And wait for the bingo. Good morning. And so the cruise is over. I ended up not really filming anything yesterday because it was so rocky. We actually were in a gale force 10 storm apparently, so there wasn't too much to do. Just sat, read my book. Ryan actually felt not very well, so you came up to the room for a bit, didn't you?
Sure did.
We played bingo, we lost, but it was all good fun, you know. And then we packed, and then we just spent the last evening revisiting Keel and Cow, which we really enjoyed, and just soaking up the atrium, so it was really lovely. As you can tell by my voice, I'm absolutely exhausted. But we are now in Southampton and the sun is shining. Unbelievably, we were told it was going to be awful. Apparently, like there's a storm, yeah, begins with A. So we were expecting it to be horrendous, but actually, it's actually sunny and not too cold for 7:30 in the morning. So maybe we've brought the Mediterranean sunshine back with us, but all in all, it's been a really, really wonderful cruise. We've both made so many fantastic memories. The ports were absolutely fantastic, really varied, got to see so much, try so much amazing food, and most importantly, just spend time with Ryan and relax. I will be doing a full review vlog, the good, the bad, and the ugly of Arvia, and my very honest thoughts on it. But I can say I've had a really, really good 2 weeks. You know, it's summer holidays as well, so of course the ship was going to be a bit busier, but it has been a really lovely holiday and I've really, really enjoyed my time here. So all we need to do now is we're going to head to the Quays for breakfast, and then we are going to disembark, so we just go through that terminal and then we need to pick up the car. But nothing really that interesting moving on, so I'm going to wrap up the vlog here and just say thank you for joining along, and if you enjoyed this, do make sure you subscribe to see the future videos, and until next time, we'll see you later.